I want to talk about goals today because a lot of people want to hit goals. A lot of people don't have any goals, but hopefully, after this conversation, if you don't have goals, you'll be ready to go out and set some goals for yourself. And not only will you be able to set some goals, but you'll have that one ingredient that a lot of people seem to be missing as they try to go out there to accomplish their goals. And hopefully, by the end of this video, you won't be missing that. If you've been setting goals, hopefully you'll get closer faster to these goals that you've set for yourself. And I did write some notes down here so that I don't miss anything or forget anything or leave anything out because I want to give you guys everything. I want you to win. And if you're setting goals, you're off to a good start already. One of the things that came to me when I was having the thought and coming up with the message I wanted to share with you guys today um, is that you hear a lot of people say, hey, you got to know your why. You got to have a vision, right? And to be honest, that's where it all starts, right? With the vision of whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And it becomes that goal that you say, you know what, if I could accomplish this thing, that would be awesome. If I could do this, that would be great. And then it starts in your brain and you start thinking, okay, is that something that's actually possible? Can I accomplish? Can I achieve that? Or is it just a dream? And I believe that most people can accomplish anything that they set their mind to. And like the old saying goes, a lot of people, it's not that they set their goals and they aim too high and miss. It's they either set their goals too low or don't set them at all and they hit. So if that's a clue to any of you, start setting goals, right? And setting big goals is probably the way to go, right? But your vision again is the first step that you want to make sure that you're clear on. What is that vision? What do I want to accomplish, right? And once you understand the vision of what you want to accomplish, the next thing that you want to focus on is why do you want to accomplish that thing? What makes it important to you? A lot of times your mission again versus the money that you're going to make will drive you further in any situation. And sometimes people fail because they're focused on just money, and you know doesn't always work out. So have that vision, have that why, and then think about the outcome after you've made your vision a reality and you know why you've done it. You've put in the energy, the time, the blood, sweat, and tears. What's the outcome that you're looking for? If it's, a number that you can put on it, put that number on it so that you've identified the vision of what you want to create, the community, the environment, whatever it is. Now that you've put together the importance with your why, you understand why you're doing this thing and putting the energy behind it. And you've figured out what the outcome that you want is after you've put the energy behind your vision to make it a reality, right? And then here's the missing piece. If you're still here, I appreciate you because here's the piece that most people don't have that makes them miss that goal. It's the commitment. See, I was reading or not reading, I was watching this author talk about a book, and I forget his name, I apologize, but it was like seven commitments of a great team. And he said a lot of people have goals, but they haven't set commitments that allow them to hit that goal. And think about this. If you are setting a goal right now, or you've set some goals, have you set commitments that allow you to hit the goal? Because this gentleman coaches and trains professional athletes. So think about any sports team that you're watching on TV that's doing well. He's probably been in their locker room teaching and coaching and training them on how to become a better team. And the reason that he says that a lot of teams hit their goals, a lot of teams do very well, do outstanding things, is because they have committed to doing certain things and have committed to not doing certain things before the season even gets started. and they make a commitment not only to themselves but to their teammates. So think about an organization, right? If you're in a department, whether it's sales, marketing, customer service, research and development, there's different teams in that company. And if everybody is holding themselves accountable to a certain level of responsibility, accountability, commitment to each other and to themselves, right? Because if I'm in the sales department and I say, hey, look, I'm going to spend X amount of hours sharpening my sales skills so that I could bring that increase, that value to the team and make sure that when I get a sales opportunity, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a close. So if I'm doing that, that's commitment to the company, that's commitment to my learning, that's commitment to my growth, and that's showing the people that are going to be handling these customers when I close them in the customer service department that I'm committed to doing my part to make sure that they're busy. Now, their commitment should be to me and to the company that, man, I'm going to go and make sure my customer service skills are up to par to make sure that anybody that I'm talking to that you guys have brought to this business is going to get top of the line quality service, VIP service. Thank you, Luke Slater. I appreciate that. So these are things that anybody could do in any organization, but I think sometimes we're moving so fast that we overlook these little things, these important details. And if we can just hone in, right? Sometimes they say, hey, stay in your lane, right? When you're in your lane, learn as much as you can about that lane so that nobody can come in and tell you about that lane, right? Own the lane so that when you move maybe from one organization to another, that experience that you've had in that lane can help you in that new company, can help that take that company to new heights. And it'll be because you decided to own your lane wherever it was that you were before, and you just brought the skill set into the new environment. And now that new environment is thriving because you came, you showed up, and you brought what you learned, you brought the value, and you can share the value. So remember, have a vision, right? Awesome, man. I'm glad this is making sense for you, Luke. Take whatever makes sense, apply it into your own situation. That's the point of this, man. If it's making sense for me, that's why I said, you know what? I'm sure somebody else can take this. Let me put this out on a video. I'm glad that it's making sense, man. Go for it, brother. So, this is a good one too, man. Let me throw this out there. I wrote this down. He said goals without commitments. Since we're talking about goals and commitments, right? Goals without commitments is like a vision without execution. So feel free to write that down, steal that one too. Goals without commitments is like a vision without execution. So sometimes you don't have to necessarily be the one putting the house together. You could be the one coming up with the blueprint, right? But if you have a wonderful blueprint of a nice house, nice building, nice whatever that you can bring to life, and you never put it in front of the person that can actually do the work, right? Then that just becomes, it's like potential, right? It's, what could have been, but never happened. And if you master or just get good at communication, I think that's what a lot of people fail to realize, that, man, this voice, this mouth that we have is so powerful if we use it correctly, if we sharpen our communication skills, right? Because it's a skill set. Not everybody was born with skill sets to get on a stage and speak, but they could be learned. And if people are interested in learning these skills, it's a matter of just investing the time, having a vision, understanding why it's important to you to develop your communication skills. Because I believe that if you see the importance, if that why is big enough for you, you'll take the necessary actions that are required for you to get better. And that's really just repetition, studying, hanging out with people that are doing the thing, whatever it is, if it's speaking, if it's, management, if it's relationship, if it's, health. I don't care what it is. You can find people that are doing that thing and start studying, start getting better, and start improving yourself and becoming more valuable, right? He talked about 7 commitments of a great team, and 2 of them, staying positive. I think that's so key in so many different scenarios that you can think about. Staying positive is one of the hardest things to do when you're getting negative news or you're in a bad situation. It's hard to stay positive, but understanding that situations come and go. It's just like Jim Rohn says, life is like the changing seasons, right? I'm sitting out here in front of my porch right now and it's sunny outside, a little breeze. But tomorrow or next month, I don't control the weather. It could be completely different, and I may not have the luxury to sit out here. But that's not my, I'm not concerning myself with controlling the weather. I'll just concern myself with where I sit and what I'm wearing so I can be comfortable while I share my message, right? Man, good stuff, Luke. I appreciate you engaging in this live, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm almost done here too. What else did I want to share? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, these are personal thoughts that I just wrote down here. Here's a good one. Speaking of being positive, right? He said, being positive won't guarantee you success. Not at all. It will not guarantee you success, but being negative will guarantee that you won't succeed. So that's pretty interesting perspective to look at things. Positivity, right? It's a good thing to have, but it doesn't guarantee the success. But if you're negative, you can almost guarantee that you won't succeed. So it's like I say all the time, man, the same energy that it takes to hate on somebody, the same energy that it takes to talk down and be negative, all of that energy could be used to uplift. It could be used to be positive. It could be used to encourage. It could be used for all of these other things other than the negativity. But for some people, that negative bone just, it takes over everything. And whenever they get a chance, that's all they're spewing out, negativity, and they can't be positive to save their lives. And I just recommend staying away from those types of people. Don't surround yourselves with negative people. It won't serve you, it doesn't serve them. Just pray for them, right? Uh, what else? Don't give up, man. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to keep moving forward when you're experiencing challenges sometimes. But what he said was the challenges that you experience are designed to get you stronger. And if you can stay focused to overcome the discouragement that makes you give up, then you're truly growing. So I want to leave you with that, man. There's going to be challenges for everybody. Nobody's exempt. But the difference is how you deal with these challenges. And I'm sure you've heard that before. It's not about how many times you fall down, it's about how many times you get up, right? And somebody somewhere is probably dealing with a bigger challenge with less resources than you have, and they're not complaining. They're doing it with a positive attitude and a smile on their face. So, what's the reason that you can't model or do the same thing in your situation, right? So, I want to encourage you, man. Every one of us has hard times with some of these concepts that we're talking about. But if you're constantly working to get better, if your intention is to improve and you're doing the things that will get you that improvement, I have no doubt in my mind that you will be successful and get what you want. Man, all right. Lord, help me remember that nothing can happen to me today that you and I together can't handle. That's so true. That's so true. So, with that, my friend Luke Slater, man, thanks for engaging on this live. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.